Thursday Madness. Come get you some. Here we go. Let's go. It's time for last minute betting with the Sports Nuts, Bob and Mike, to give you your quick fix for sports betting, brought to you by OddsJam, the premier odds comparison company. Get in there now. And by the way, folks, I want to remind you all about the Power Hour on PointsBet. We haven't talked about that lately, but there's the same game parlay free bet for March Madness tonight, tomorrow night, Saturday, and Sunday. So get in there. There's something happening every day on PointsBet, all right? Let's make it happen. We're here to talk college basketball with the guru himself, the guru of all gurus when it comes to college basketball. Y'all know Randall, and we're getting ready to get him in on the broadcast. Don't forget, we got the Discord link below. Get in there. I think we're over 17,000 strong right now. So, Mike, I think we ought to just get into college basketball. Let's bring Randall in here. He looks like he's very studious looking right now. You're very studious looking.
You got about 20 minutes, and then I'm going. These games are getting
Then what are you going to do?
The games
5:30. We can't be dragging this out too long.
All right, well, let's not. There's Jordan. There's Tony. Tony is on Kansas State tonight. I want you to know that. I have to throw that at you. Alan's here. Let's go. Let's go. And Daniel Schwartz is here. Sports Nuts on their sports butts talking about sports.
I like that.
Yeah, that was pretty good. All right.
Clever.
Let's get into the games. You know, this first one, which Tony is on Kansas State. Come on, man. You know, when we're dealing with Tom Izzo in the tournament, is there a safer bet than to bet on an Izzo team, Randall? Especially a team that shoots the three-pointer pretty good and hasn't shot worth a darn in this tournament, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's where I'm looking at. I think Michigan State, they're going to get it going from three. I've not been a fan of this K-State team all year, so I'm on Michigan State again. I faded K-State against Kentucky. Didn't work out. Going to fade them again here. Depending on if K-State wins tonight, may fade them again. This K-State team is not I don't think they're that good. So I'm on Sparty. I think Sparty can win this region. I said that when the brackets came out. I said they'd beat Marquette. They did that. So I'm sticking to my guns here.
Okay. All right. And I see it. But that little guard for Kansas State, Mike, he's a player, man. Is he not? I mean, that boy can do all kinds of things. I mean, he's a really good guard, don't you think?
Oh yeah, no two ways about it. He's great, but Michigan State very good on the boards. Haven't shot the three well yet, as you said, and it feels like to me, you know, they got through that last game, and I thought it was going to catch up to him because I'm like, man, you can't keep missing these three, and they weren't even really getting a lot of opportunities in their last game. I feel like when you're a three-point shooting team and it hasn't hit yet, it's going to eventually, and I would not be surprised if Michigan State doesn't go bonkers from three tonight and just light it up. And to me, that's going to be enough to offset Kansas State and Noel and his great play that he's had. But yeah,
I mean, let's not forget. I mean, Reeves for Kentucky went 1 for 15 in that game against K-State. Like that's not happening in this game tonight. I mean, Tyson Walker, I mean, he's not going 1 of 15. So I think Michigan State is in a great spot here. There's a lot being made about, you know, I can't think of his name. Calipari said that little kid, so we'll just call him the little kid, returning back home to New York. MSG, he's been on K-State's campus since 2020, hasn't left, blah, blah, blah. A lot being made about that. I'll take Izzo and Sparty here. I think that they win this game. I think actually Michigan State, I don't know what their odds are. I think they're plus 300 maybe to come out of that region. I mean, not a fan of really betting futures like that, but I mean, I think, let's see, region winner, they are plus 320. So they're definitely not going to be plus 320 against Tennessee or Florida Atlantic. So, yeah, I mean, there we go. Thackeray, there you go. Tyson Walker back home too. So, Thackeray, I hate to tell you not to jump ahead, but your Hurricanes are dead to rights tomorrow, and that's probably Houston by 10 plus. So
that's what I want to hear, because I got Houston winning it all, baby.
That's a burial. The whole world's on Miami. I mean, Miami smokes Indiana, and Houston struggles against Auburn. And Houston's now laying 7.5 after laying 5.5 to Auburn. Auburn was a 9 seed. Miami's a 5 seed. Miami was in the Elite 8 last year, and now they're catching 7.5. See you later. Lights out. Thanks for playing. They're done.
Wow.
I honestly thought this line should be closer to 10. I mean, 7.5's a gift. Like they are going to suffocate Miami. Like I said, we're talking an Elite 8 team last year catching 7.5 after blowing out Indiana. I mean, at this point, who doesn't want to take Miami? And that's not the line you want to be in March Madness. You do not want to be on the side that everybody is jumping to.
Okay. All right. So let me move on to Jordan was talking about the line moving with the Connecticut and Arkansas game, the Florida Atlantic and Tennessee game. Let's go to Arkansas and Connecticut first. It has dropped to minus 3.5, a half a point. Is that just getting closer to game time kind of move, or?
Oh, I mean, and Jordan, no, Drake wasn't going to beat them. I was on Miami in both of those games. So, no, I disagree with you. No, I mean, this is just, Sharp's coming in, probably taking Arkansas +4. I will tell you, historically, been doing this a long time, this is the weekend where sharp sports bettors, I'll call them undisciplined sharps, this is where they lose. They like to take underdogs because – public likes to take faves. Typically doesn't work out. I'll be honest with you. I'll be shocked. And actually now K-State's now favored in this game on DraftKings. I will be shocked if favorites don't go 5-3 this week. I say that now. Michigan State was the favorite. So you throw Michigan State out. Let's scratch that. I think UConn covers. I think Florida Atlantic could potentially cover. I'm not betting that game, but, Gonzaga is a dog. But again, +1, throw that out as well. Bama should cover. Houston should cover. Creighton should cover. The only dog I really want a part of is Xavier +4.5, and I'm really not in love with that. So, if you throw out the two toss-ups, I think realistically 4-2 on the faves this week. K-State line, moving like crazy now, -1. The Barstool group is all over K-State, and I don't want to be anywhere near Barstool either. So,
well, I'd like to be near a Barstool watching the game and having a beer while I'm watching, if you know what I mean.
Well,
that was my attempt at humor. All right. Creighton probably runs Princeton out of the gym. You're probably right, RW.
So.
I believe you're right there, even though I really don't like that big guy from Creighton. He just gets on my nerves. But all right, let's look at this.
You don't like Kalkbrenner?
No, I really don't.
He's from St. Louis, Bob. How do you not like him? He's a St. Louis guy.
That doesn't matter. He screwed me last year, and he plays like crap sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
I just don't like the guy. This Florida Atlantic
typical Rams fan, just like the Battle.
It's okay. You let me talk instead of insulting, huh?
Are you
let me talk instead of insulting? No, I'm not going to mute you yet. I guess the Florida Atlantic line that you're talking about, because BetMGM still has the +5.5, but it's actually gone down to +4.5 on most other books. I guess we're attributing that to people betting, right? I mean, that's why the line's moving, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Florida Atlantic, I think, is, like I said, though, these sharp sides typically do not pay Sweet 16, Elite 8. Like, I'm just going to tell you, they typically don't. But if I had to take two dogs, I would take Florida Atlantic in the points, and I would take Xavier. Would be the two that I would look at.
How many units on UConn?
This is my guy. I know exactly what he's talking about. I bet 5 on it this afternoon personally. So I'll tell you, I've got if for those of you that are out there listening, MGM gives you, I told Bob this the other day, MGM gives you 25 and 50% tokens. And somehow there's a glitch with their tokens because today, now you can only max bet these for 50. So like, you're not going to get, extremely like profitable, but today, if you put that 25% token on UConn, it takes them from minus 190 to minus 110. Like that's definitely more than 25%. So like I have UConn money line, just 50. And then I went back and bet them on Caesars at the -4. But honestly, I'm probably going to have to go back and grab some more 3.5. I mean, I may be, to answer their RW's question, I may be 10 to 15 units deep into this game, depending on how it goes live. Because I don't see any way Arkansas wins this game. And I don't know, maybe I'm biased because UConn pays a ton for me in futures, but I don't see it. I mean, I'm not backing a guy who took his shirt off after beating Kansas. I mean,
Tony,
Tony,
the hope here is that UConn, they struggle a little here and there in the first halves. They do most of their damage in the second half. Arkansas usually good in the first half, bad in the second half. So my hope is Arkansas gets a little lead here in the first half. We're able to find some value on UConn money line again, because the second half, in my opinion, I think UConn's going to smoke them in the second half. It's just the way they have seemed to be going, and when they're rolling in the second half like that, I mean, they're just about unstoppable. I mean, 14 plus, they won by the second half by that last game, 20 plus the first game. I mean,
I will.
Now listen, hold on. You haven't paid off your bet with Missouri and Utah State yet. So before we worry about him taking his shirt off, let's get that bet paid, okay? Let's not hold out, because let me tell you, the juice is running, buddy. Okay?
I won't be here tomorrow to take my shirt off. I'm taking my daughter to the Alabama game tomorrow night.
Okay, but you'll be around to wear that hat, okay? And you'll be wearing that hat soon, okay? Because you lost the bet. And as I said, the meter is running, and you know what? It may go up to having to wear it 2 days, Randall, if you delay too much.
But you pretty well had Missouri penciled in the Elite Eight. And
no, I didn't. I had them losing to Arizona in the second round. I had them one round. That's it. I was right. He was wrong. He needs to pay up. All right. Tony says, that would be me putting the mortgage on FAU.
Ooh.
Randall taking your shirt off on tomorrow when the Pigs win. And, of course, there is Tristan, who will be on tomorrow's show. And RW, can we just discuss the games, please, Bob? Who is RW, Randall?
That's my guy. He's an old, long-time follower. It's my guy.
Okay. All right. Yeah, sure, you can discuss the games. Go for it. That's what we're trying to do. That's probably Steve. Anyway.
It's not Steve. I don't know. Maybe Steve's in here.
Yeah, you never know with them. Gonzaga, UCLA. We're all on Gonzaga right now. I told you earlier, I found a positive EV play at -1.5. And, you like that play too.
Yeah, I love Gonzaga tonight. I said when the bracket came out that Gonzaga would beat UCLA. So I'm going to stick to that. I actually saw it looks like Bona is going to be a game time decision. So trying to look now, shoulder injury against Oregon. I mean, if he's not out tonight, I don't know who stops Timmy and, his 15 years. So I like Gonzaga tonight. I took them plus 1.5. I mean, I'm going to assume if Bona's out, it probably flips to a pick, maybe Gonzaga favored, but now it's -1. I mean, points probably irrelevant, but Gonzaga +1 if you haven't jumped on the 1.5. I think that's a solid play. And actually, K-State's now -1.5. I'm actually going to have to go back and take another piece of Sparty. That's getting out of control.
Okay. What about this Tennessee game? Have we actually come to any conclusion as to are you leaning completely Tennessee's way, or FAU got a chance? Because Tony's got a lot of money on FAU, man.
No, I actually lean to FAU. I think +4.5. I mean, you see it all the time. I think we see it tonight. I think real chance, UCLA's injuries catch up to them. They go out, and I think that Ziegler, no Ziegler tonight could be an issue. I'll tell you what, Tony, though, I think Tony has he has a pretty big FAU future to win that region, doesn't he?
Yeah, probably so.
Well, if I'm Tony, I seriously would consider. Although I guess if Tennessee wins tonight, you're out of luck, or you could be out of luck. But I think Michigan State is worth at plus 320. I mean, especially if you think Florida Atlantic wins. I mean, Florida Atlantic's not going to be, Michigan State's not going to be plus 320 against Florida Atlantic. There's no chance.
Okay, a couple games tomorrow. Let's get to them real quick. San Diego State, Alabama. Since you're not around, that number's 7.5 right now. That should be higher, shouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I thought this would be closer to 9.5. I mean, Bama, I don't even remember who did they play in the second round. Maryland. They smoked Maryland. Yeah. I think they were laying 8.5 against Maryland. So, yeah, I mean, they're essentially laying the same number against San Diego State. Yeah, I mean, I hope that Bama wins for the sake of my my daughter. But yeah, I like Bama here. I'll tell you honestly, I think this is a solid bet, and I hate doing parlays, but Bama money line, Houston money line, and Creighton money line, I think pays plus 102. I actually bet that earlier in the week. I don't think you're going to get a better even money parlay than those three. But my issue is I think Creighton and Houston both cover, so you're probably better just taking all three teams, lay the points, and call it a day.
And the Xavier Texas game, I mean, plus 4.5.
Yeah, I mean, they're the only other dog.
Xavier?
They're the only other dog that I would think could potentially cover. But again, they have the injury to Fremantle that at some point, I mean, it's going to catch up to them. Is it this Texas game? I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest, for the sake of my Houston future, I would love to see Houston play Xavier. But, I think the committee would love to see Houston versus Texas to go to the Final Four. So, I mean, there's a real chance here. Every game except for Florida Atlantic, Tennessee, and then K-State and Sparty, the winner of both of those. I mean, there's a real chance the other three Elite Eight matchups could feature teams that, I pegged to start the tournament as teams that could win. I mean, you could be looking at or to win it all. I mean, you could be looking at UCLA, UConn. Those two teams fit the mold. You could be looking at Bama and Creighton. Both of those teams fit the mold. And then you could obviously be looking at Houston and Texas. So, I mean, one thing I've said, and I mentioned this earlier today, knowing the teams that can actually win it all is very, very big come Saturday and Sunday. Because if they get down against a team that, doesn't fit the mold to win it all, you can get some excellent live betting value, not only from just that particular game, but from a future standpoint. Last year, Kansas, when they were down to Miami and Jordan was probably counting his money with the Hurricanes last year at halftime, you could have actually gotten Kansas 22-1 to win it all. When they won the game, they were 3-1. So, and Kansas was the only team that fit the mold last year to win the national championship, who was in the Final Four. So you can definitely find some value there. The issue is 3 of the 4 matchups could feature teams that can all win it all. So at that point, you're just, flipping coins.
Right.
Well, you are on my boy Jordan's butt now, aren't you? You're giving him all kinds of trouble.
My buddy Liam said Creighton winning. Thoughts? The game they've got coming up, winning it all. I'm not riding Creighton to win it all, but
no, I don't know that Creighton wins it all. I mean, the bad thing is they, they fit the mold, and Bob, I've been on them all year, but I'm not on them now. So, I don't think Creighton can win it all, but Creighton Bama on Sunday night, Sunday afternoon. I mean, get your popcorn ready if that's the matchup, because I think that'll be a good game. Honestly, all 4 of these Elite 8 games could be incredible. I mean, I'd love to see FAU versus Sparty. I mean, 2 teams there. You got a 9 seed and a 7 seed. You see it every year. I'm going to ride Sparty all the way to the end, or at least to the Final Four. I mean, this Sparty team, where did they come from? I mean, no one's talked about them. And they're always a team that's talked about. So those are the teams you want to back.
There you go. Look at that, man. We're at 21 minutes. You got to get the hell out of here now.
I agree with RW there on some overs this round. I think this is interesting because on Friday, all of the Friday games, the totals went 15-1 to the under. They are using a new ball, which you've seen. I think the shooting percentage for these teams is down about 10%, and that's from the 3-point line. But did the books over adjust this week to kind of make up for that? So I think you can definitely see some things, or you could get some value on some overs. And the thing is, all of these games now, they're not being played in arenas with different backdrops. Sparty K-State's at MSG tonight. T-Mobile is hosting the UConn game. Louisville, KFC Yum Center, they're hosting the Bama game or that regional. And then I don't know, where's Houston and then playing? Kansas City, I think. So, they're all playing in arenas that teams are a little more used to. So you're not going to see an issue with some of the backdrops and shooting. So I agree. I think there's probably some values on the over. And I would say that there's a lot of sharp sports bettors and professionals out there that are taking some overs. I'm terrible at totals, but I think Michigan State, K-State could be high scoring. Arkansas, UConn could be. The one thing about that Arkansas UConn game to note is Arkansas is one of the teams. I don't know if they lead the nation or they're up there at the top in terms of fouling. Bob, Mike, do you remember that Missouri game when there were 62 fouls called in that game?
Yeah.
So Arkansas fouls a lot. It's not like it was just a coincidence, but that's a good thing when you're looking to take overs. Is you want fouls, you want teams going to the free throw line. I think UConn's ranked number 37 in the nation from the free throw line. So, you give me a team that fouls a lot versus a team that shoots it pretty well from the free throw line. That's a good combo. And Sonogo down low. Points at the rim are obviously much easier to come by. I definitely, I could see some overs here for sure. In these next couple of days.
I got Sonogo on a points and rebounds over. Looking at the totals for RW here, the 2 biggest totals are Xavier in Texas at 145.5 in UCLA and Gonzaga at 145.5. Everything else is around 137.5 to 140.5, which is really a normal total for college basketball games. So I don't know. That over could, that's pretty normal.
Yeah, I think if the UCLA game goes over, I think UCLA would then have a chance. But I mean, I like Gonzaga here. I honestly think UCLA is going to have to score 75 to beat Gonzaga, and I don't know if they can. Gonzaga is not going to have any issue getting 75 because they're the number one offensive team in the land. So that's an intriguing matchup. I mean, honestly, if you're looking to parlay, I think it's honestly one or the other. And I would never say to do this because you lose both, but I think it's Gonzaga in the under. I think there's a correlation there. And if the game goes over, I think it's maybe UCLA in the over. Gonzaga can definitely score with them, but I could see where if it goes over, UCLA's probably had a great night of shooting, which I don't necessarily expect. So definitely some correlation though between the two, I think.
All right, real quick here. I got to throw this at you guys very quickly. This morning, I picked up a 4-pick for Prize Picks with Josiah Jordan James, more than 5 rebounds. Ricky Council, the 4th, more than 15.5 points. Jaden Akins, more than 10.5 points. And Sonoga, over 25.5 points and rebounds. I was looking at these numbers. They are low.
Yeah.
Compared to their average, they're pretty low.
Sonogo could go over that on total points.
Right. Exactly.
He has dominated this tournament. He has definitely made himself some money.
Been a bully
in the NBA, I think, by the tournament that he's had because he's been solid. Yeah,
he's been a stud. No two ways about it. All right, you going to stick around for Prize Picks?
No, 527, man.
Okay, all right.
You're not
hey, folks, that's Randall, the NCAA basketball guru of all gurus when it comes. You know what? And I'm going to solo him right here, right now. There is the face of a basketball guru. All right.
Are you not wrapping this show up here in the next couple of minutes?
Yeah, I will.
The listeners
got to do a Prize Picks.
The listeners are ready. You just gave a Prize Picks.
No, we're going to give one live here.
Oh, all right.
You're not a Prize Picks guy. Mike and I are, right? We're into it.
All right. You get into it.
All right. See you later. Way to go, Randall. Good job. Okay, Mike, let's get into a Prize Picks. And there's the GOAT, Randall the GOAT. RW said so.
Yeah, well, first we're going to jump into an NHL parlay here.
Oh, yeah,
I'm looking to redeem myself as last night we were let down by the Colorado Avalanche. So looking to redeem myself tonight. I'm back in Minnesota on the money line tonight. Been playing really good even without Kaprizov. Flyers are 21st in goals against this season, so I think the Wild will score plenty. Won the first meeting 3-2. Wild, look, how good has the goaltending been for them? Outstanding. So that will help them limit Philadelphia tonight. Minnesota's won 7 out of their last 10 games overall and 3 out of their last 4. So I'm back in Minnesota on the money line tonight. And then that same team that screwed me last night, the Penguins, I'm going against them again. I'm going to the Dallas Stars, staying in the Central Division with Dallas and Pittsburgh. You got Dallas, who's won 4 out of their last 7, scored 11 goals in their last 3 games. So both of these teams are going to have fatigue played last night, so that will even itself out. Dallas has Ottinger in net. That'll be the difference there. Dallas is unbelievable on special teams. They convert 23% of their power play, and they've been killing off penalties very, very consistently. Dallas is a team that I think in that Western Conference, it's kind of wide open, I think, still. I think Dallas is a team that's as good as any of them and has as good a chance. So like Dallas on the money line and like Minnesota on the money line tonight, Bob.
I've got both of those plays separately on my hockey video. We're winning tonight.
We should. You got a couple of really good Central Division teams. And to be honest with you, I I think the Central's got the better chance. I love Vegas, but I think that the Western Conference champion is coming out of that Central division. To me, it's Dallas, Colorado. One of those two teams for sure, I think, have the best chance. And Minnesota's kind of a sleeper, I like the way they've been playing. So,
okay, Scotty loves his Wild. He loves that Wild. All right.
Yes.
Now can we do a prize picks?
We sure can.
All right, I'm excited.
Okay. Well, hold on to your horses here, and we will, or your whatever you have.
I don't have a horse.
Well, then you'll have to find something to hold on to.
Oh, I wanted to tell you this, Mike. I actually hit an NBA second half bet of 4-pick on Prize Picks the other night. You need to think about hitting them. And they actually have tonight a college basketball second half.
Okay. Gotcha.
I had to throw that at you.
Oh, okay. So first play we're rolling with Markelle Fultz under 4.5 rebounds, looks outstanding at -119 for the 5-6 pick flex option. You see what most of the books price this at, -140, 150 range. 3 of them in that range, then -139 on Caesars. BetMGM's -135. Our average odds are about -137. This plays about a 55.6 win probability, so that's a pretty good play. A lot of the books are favoring this heavily. Getting the 5-6 pick flex, the -119 is the route to go for all of these plays to get the better odds. They're more profitable long-term doing this. Zubats under 23.5 PRA. Yeah, I'll roll with it. It does look like BetMGM. They've got it at -120. So, but again, looking at a couple of the other books, Caesars, DraftKings, heavily juiced. Pinnacle's about -132. So our average odds are about -130. So I'll roll with that play as well. I don't like the Jamie Benn play, to be honest with you. It's a little lower percentage too, 54.4. Yeah, it's not bad, but I'm going to skip that one. I'm going to actually go to the low hold page now and find us 3 more that we can add for this entry. So bear with me here. Going to go to Prize Picks, 5 or 6 pick flex. And let's just jump into some of these plays. Let's look at the Banchero play. Not too bad, -119, average odds -128. But let's look at let's take Claxton over 11.5 player points for sure. Average odds about -129 on it, so that one looks pretty good. That'll be pick number 3. The Banchero play will come back to. I just want to go through some of these and see, if the PJ Washington under 17.5 points and assists is good. Average odds on this one -132. So that one's pretty good too.
Okay, hang on 1 second. The way Prize Picks is doing this tonight, I have a 3-pick entry. Automatically, I select 3 picks and it auto applies. So we got to do these. Let's see, Zubac, Fultz, and Claxton. I'll put them in. Okay, there we go. I'm going to reuse the players. And now I'm ready. I'm sorry.
How many more you need?
2.
PJ Washington under 17.5 points and assists is looking pretty solid across the board. So add that one.
So hold on.
PJ Washington under 17.5 points and assists.
Points and assists. Okay, sorry.
And then let's look at Josh Hart here. Not a lot to compare on this one too, though, unfortunately. Don't love that. But that's what we got to go with. Josh Hart over 20.5 PRA. So average odds -131 on that. FanDuel's the only book showing us a line on that. So a little risky, but that's okay. We'll roll with it.
Let's do it. We're going with that, a 5-picker. I'm going to place the entry now. I'm going to share my screen, and then we're going to get to going to watch some college basketball.
Please.
I'm all over the place today, folks. I can't wait. Let's go to the entries. So I've got a 3-pick of the Fultz, Zubac, and Claxton plays, and we also have them here. So Fultz, less than 4.5 rebounds. Zubac, less than 23.5 PRA. Claxton, more than 11.5 points. PJ Washington, less than 17.5 points and assists. And Josh Hart, more than 20.5 PRA. I told you about the 4-pick earlier. I got another 4-pick, Mike, in shots on goal in the NHL. Brock Besser, under 2.5. Pedersen, under 3.5. Kadri, over 2.5. And Ryan Hartman, over 2.5 player shots on goal. Those were all positive EV plays today. I'm playing 4 plays today, Mike. Can you believe that? 4 entries.
Cool.
I'm excited. Yep. All right. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's go watch some college basketball. What do you say, Mike?
Down.
Ready for you to win some money again. Are you going to go crazy today?
There's nothing out there like we had. I mean, we're at that point now where a lot of the big dogs are going to start taking over.
That's true. All right, folks. Have a good night. See you later.